Learning today a Sicha in Likkutei Sichos Chelek Chelek Chov Zayin, Parshas Kedoshim, and it's not from the project Likkutei Sichos. It's a little bit too complicated. It's this project. Whoever wants to listen to the project, it's in the project in Yiddish. I did it, but so we're going to learn Kedoshim. All Kedoshim Sichos based on V'ahavta l'reacha kamocha, very gishmak Sichos. This is very interesting, very gishmak. The Rebbe is machadish a chidush niflo in a posik in Chumash, according to Rashi. What means the idea if the evil is sitting mirshel, as we're going to see by the end what the Rebbe takes out from it. Oisat, if the evil is sitting mirshel is Rashi mefarish, לפני הסומה בדובו, לא sitting eitzo sheinu against loy. It's a simple posik. If somebody is blind, don't put something so he should go and stumble on it. Comes Rashi and says, if somebody is blind in an idea, he doesn't know what to do, and he comes to you to ask you for something what to do, you shouldn't give him, shouldn't tell him something, what? Should give him advice that it's not for him. And bring the Rufa Dugme, Rashi brings an example, a moshel, what could be something that it's not for him. As we're going to learn Seif Gimel, the Rebbe is going to ask on that also questions. Darf man verstehen. Von wann nimmt Rashi bepschutte shel Mikro, zum Moitzu sein die Wörter mit dem Pschutom, und dann steht sie auf Posheten Teitsch, als man doch nicht legen am Mirschel Vereinen, was kann nicht sehen, Rachmone Litzlan, ist am Mefarisch, lechoyer it's a simple posik, lifnei iver is it in Mirschel. Mirschel means he shouldn't stumble. And what he's telling me, you take it out. Obstacle, yes. He shouldn't stumble and let him fall. What do you come and change me the whole idea? And you're telling me, Mefarish two things. Aleph, iver means sume bedovo, not blind. He's blind on this issue that he has no problem. And base, Mirshel, what's a Mirshel? Mirshel is a obstacle. Rashi says, Eitzu sheinu against it. Where does Rashi take it?
Rashi לא אומר שזה לא עיוור, Rashi אומר שזה לא רק עיוור.
חכה, עד למטה הרב מדבר על זה גם. שזה לא נכון. הוא מוציא את זה לגמרי מזה.
הוא אומר לפני עיוור, לפני הסומה בדבר.
אין עיוור, אין פה עיוור בכלל. נראה עוד מעט in the zweite Shale. Okay, so a very simple question. It's a simple posik, and Rashi comes in and takes it out of Pshuto Shel Mikro, and it says, you're talking about somebody who is blind in what? In something, in an idea that he doesn't know what to do, and you come and give him how to do it. The Mizrahi lernt, as das kommt bei Emshech zum Friedrich im Pirush Rashi, wie die Wörter, Lesikal el-Cheresh. The posik has two things, Lesikal el-Cheresh, und Velifnei Velasit im Mirshel, Ani Hashem, Yereisem Elekecho, Ani Hashem. That's the posik. So the Mizrahi says, if the word of Lesikal el-Cheresh, it starts with Lesikal el-Cheresh, Eili elo Cheresh, Menayin l'Rabbi Kol Odom. The Torah says, Lesikal el-Cheresh, so Rashi says, why only a Cheresh you're not allowed to curse? Menayin l'Rabbi Kol Odom, you're not allowed to curse anybody. So Rashi brings down, in Kein lo monem ha-Cheresh, if it says Cheresh, maybe this. So Rashi says, Ma Cheresh av kol, ובעל בצווי דינים שתיים עם פוסק בהמשך אחד, darf man sagen, als Iver dumm jede Cheresh, ma Cheresh lav davke Cheresh, af Iver lav davke Iver. Very Geschmack. He says, I have a good Geschmack answer, that the same thing as we say by Cheresh, that it doesn't mean davke Cheresh. No, because it's already a posik in Shmois, loisoyer, wieder lo shnot loisoyer be'amcho. You're not allowed to kill somebody. Nosi be'amcho loisoyer. So Rashi, we learn out there that what does mean Nosi be'amcho? Somebody who is alive. So if it comes to Lesikal el-Cheresh, it means also not Davke Cheresh. So the same thing we could say also by Iver. This is what the Mizrahi is teaching Rashi. That's what Rashi is learning it like this. But the Rebbe says I could not accept it. Aber der Pirush is kosher. Wie wir forschen fragen. Bei Lesikal el-Cheresh is Rashi nicht moitzi dem Wort Cheresh mit Pshutoy. Rashi is not taking that Cheresh mit Pshutoy. Rashi says Cheresh and also everybody. But Cheresh also. Yeah, okay. Sagt nur, als man lernt auf von Cheresh, als ma Cheresh is alive, of course, whoever is alive, you're not allowed to curse him. Was hängt bei Likkutei Velasit in Mirshel, so Rashi als Iver meint, nicht gepschutoy. Einer was kann nicht sehen. It doesn't mean somebody you can't see. Nor asume bedobo is blind in the thing, but he doesn't know what to do. Kommt euch auf Pirush Rashi, asume is nicht jeder Cheresh. חרש...
למה אי אפשר להגיד שזה הרי המשך אחד? למה אפשר להגיד שאחרי שכבר למדנו שבחרש הכוונה לא רק חרש, אז גם פה רש"י מסביר שאותו דבר כמו שבחרש זה לא רק חרש, אז גם בעיוור זה לא רק עיוור, זה גם...
כי לא כתוב ככה.
הוא מדלג על החלק הראשון, הוא מובן מאליו.
But it takes it out, it says no, it doesn't talk... Look at Rashi again at the beginning. Livni asume bedovo. And when it comes to Cheresh, it says not only Cheresh, but everybody. So Cheresh is staying, is not denying him, and here is denying the whole idea of either. Okay, so the Rebbe says I can't choose the Mizrahi, and so again, till now we have a very simple thing. It says Livni Valisiti Mushel. Rashi takes it out completely from his Pshuta Shel Mikro. Number one, it says not sume blind, sume in an idea, and then it says also Mirshel does mean a Mirshel. Mirshel means something, an obstacle. Mirshel means a eitze. You're giving him advice that it's not good for him. Oich, the biur anal is blois. Let's say that we could accept the Mizrahi, as you said. Let's say the Mizrahi is telling me, and we could answer it. So the Rebbe says, but still something is left. The biur anal is blois asam for was darf mefarer sein, as iver loved af keiver. Right? That's what he's trying to tell me. No sume bedobo. Es bleibt aber nicht mugen, was ist rasches Erche chastite Mirshel, meint nicht ne Sine, und nicht Mirshel stam, nur darf kein Amire, und nicht zu schehen, nur ergenes le. The Choyre says, lo sitein Mirshel means you shouldn't give him, should put him a stumble. And here Rashi comes and takes out completely the ayin of Nesine. What does he say? Unbelievable. Rashi says Amire. You're not allowed to tell him something that it's not good for him. So completely changed. So this we could not answer even with the Mizrahi. I'll accept them, and this I could not use it. Rashi, now the Rebbe says what Rashi could have said. Rashi hat lechoire gedacht lernen wie Leuten derech haloche. Also lefnei Iver kommt Madel sein, wir sollen nicht geben am Mirshel zu Aiden, Asume bedovo. What is it? Advar Abere. Somebody comes and asks you a question. He comes and asks you, this lady, Amakoye, is this lady not a grusho? She's a psulo, I could marry her. And he says, yeah, she's a psulo, and he's mashlem. Mirshel said, Advar Abere, v'dugme in Shas. The Rebbe brings another dugme. Later he brings the dugme that I just said. V'yoshit odom koshel yain lenozio. He's giving him a koshel yain, and you could tell him it's beer, it's not wine. He could bring him a mirshel, he should be over Avere. Was dabei ist nicht an ihm von einer Mire, so Rashi wird obri this, so it fits with the posik, believe neighbor, sitting. It's a in of sitting. Was dabei ist nicht an ihm von einer Mire, nor a peulas, nesinas mirshel, shlabere. So Rashi could have used this as the Gemara is using the same thing. So we have the question, how come that Rashi is changing the whole idea, and Rashi should have said like in the Gemara. Base. The Gorarie, the Maharal, sagt, as Rashi shel choche lepirush ze, is to nansi makosu. He has an answer. Why is Rashi saying it? Because according to the end of the pasuk, as we mentioned before, it says v'yeresem elekecha ne Hashem. For the Loshen state, when do we use this Loshen v'yeresem elekecho? Rashi is mefarish do al asar. No if adobor amosu lelibo shel odom. Anything that's mosu, if you do something and people could not realize how you did it, so always it says v'yeresem elekecha, because the Rebbe does know. So the Maharal wants to say, because it says v'yeresem elekecho, no, if adover amosu lelibo shel odom, that nobody could see what's in your heart. When Yois has avek legam mirshel kipshuto ifarani v'kipshuto, is nicht kein dover amosu lelev, somebody's going to go and he's going to dig a pit and he's going to put a cover on it, and the blind man is going to go and he's going to fall in. Everybody's going to see it. It's not something that it's not see it. It's something that I see directly, that's why he's doing it. Is nicht kein dover amosu lelev, nor a peule in welchem mit erkennt sein kavone. You see what he meant. The Rebbe learned, Rashi could not say that it's talking about a Iver, because a Iver, it wouldn't have said v'yeresem elekecho. Nor a peule in welchem mit erkennt sein kavone. The Rebbe learned Rashi is forced because of this to the Rebbe learned Rashi as dorat sich wegen geben an eitze sheinu genes loy, und man kann nicht wissen sie deit ist so le toivel rove yochel shamet le maltem. Rashi comes and changes it completely, and he says, what are we talking about? Someone is coming to ask you of advice, and you give him not the right advice, and he could come when somebody asks him, why did you give him this advice? Oh, I meant good, as we're going to see later in the Sichos, what could be good and it's not good for him. So he could say, that's why it says v'yeresem elekecho. So the Maharal says Rashi was forced because of this reason to say this answer. It changed the whole idea that it's not talking about a evil, because it says v'yeresem elekecho, can be, it's not a dover amosu lelev. There was all arichas in the Aores. What happens if he does it in the middle of the night and nobody didn't see, and only the Rebbe knows? So whoever wants to learn our footnote 11, the Rebbe is talking about it. The Rebbe says that I can accept also this, the Gorari also. Aber es ist schwer zu sagen, als das ist der Yesod He said that this is what forced Rashi to say it. The Rebbe says I can't say it. Weil dann wollte Rashi dem Pirush von Yeresem Elekecho gedacht sagen, nicht in der Basunder Dibur HaMaschil, noch in demselben Dibur HaMaschil beim Shechechot. Rashi should have used this by Yeresem Elekecho in his Pirush. He should have said, as we learned before, he should have said, Lifnei Asume V'Dobol Esit in Eitz She'eino Egenes Loi, and he should have continued Lekach Nemar V'Yeresem Elekecho, because it's not something that's Mosul Alev. So it should have been in one Dibur HaMaschil. V'Yeresem Elekecho, but there the Losh in Torah Koyanim Do. Shor Hashkoyanim says like this. Shem Otoim Eitz Otoivo. If you're going to say that I give you Eitz Otoivo, so Varei Adobo Mosul Alev. That's why it says V'Yeresem Elekecho. Now there we make Gefinti Pirush Rashi Gufe. It's unbelievable. Rashi himself says it. Weiter in der Set, läuft im Posuk, wo dort ob nicht so, okay? So Rashi says, what does it mean? וישב במקומוי, יוכל יעצימנו וכולו, וכך נאמר, וירשם אלוקיך. So Rashi says it in one, דיבור המסחיל. Here says it in two דיבור המסחיל. So I can't say that the Goraya says that the reason why is Rashi changing the pshat in the Posuk from Likkutei V'Lesit in Mirshel because of Yereso Melekech Ani Hashem. That was Rashi tells us up in a Bazunder Dibur HaMaschil. Rashi is separating it. He says the story about that it's not it's not a sume, not a blind. And then he says we are raising Melekech Hativ from Dibur HaMaschil as the Pirush Lifnei Asume V'Dobol Esit in Gensler is an Inyan B'Fnei Atzmo. It's a separate thing. And the Recher Chofem is from the Wörter. Rashi is coming to a conclusion from Likkutei V'Lesit in Mirshel Gufe. From this itself, he learns that it's not talking here about somebody who is blind, somebody is coming for advice, and you're giving him the wrong advice. Okay. So we have a very simple question: why is Rashi changing it? The Rebbe tried to give the pshat of them of Rebbe Eliyahu Mizrahi. Interessant, I didn't know. I looked up today. I want to see. Rebbe Eliyahu Mizrahi, we're not talking about somebody from the Achronim. Rebbe Eliyahu Mizrahi is over 500 years ago. Yeah, okay. Anyway, so he's over, and the Goraya is the Maral Metrog. I mean, it's okay. And interesting also, the Rebbe is in so many Sichos. The Rebbe brings down somebody that was mamish in our generation. That's why I mentioned the 500 years ago in the Maral Metrog. There is the Arit Perlo. The Rebbe brings him down in this Sicha. I think is 3 or 4 times, and he was. It's a possibility. Maybe he was by the Rebbe's Chasnei. He passed away in Tovri Tzadik Dalet in Varsha. So maybe he was there in Peites. It could have been that he was by the Rebbe's Chasnei. The Rebbe kocht sich in einem sehr Rasach. If you look in the Orals, you see you mentioned them quite a few times. Okay.
I read something recently about the connection with something about the understand Tishrei Tzadik, Tishrei Aleph in Russia. Maybe it's Tishrei Tzadik.
No.
The Rebbe was here. The Rebbe was by himself in Russia and he spent some time with the parallel.
Yes?
I'm almost sure I read it.
Verschlossen. Aber seine Kedoshim, seine Sforim, it's unbelievable. Okay. Oitz Gimel. Weiter geht Rashi, now we're going to come as the Rebbe said, in Oitz Gimel we're going to see what Rashi brings the dogma. Rashi brings the example, what could it be advice that it's not for it. Weiter geht Rashi dogma in Peitzeh Sheinu Genes Loi, al Toima mechoyer sotcho v'kach lecho chamoyer, v'ato oike v'lovnet lemen. What could be that you give him wrong advice? Don't tell him, sell you, he came to ask you, I don't know what to do, I have a field, and I don't know if it makes enough money, if I should sell it or not. He tells him, you sell it. And you know what? Go buy a donkey. Buy a donkey. And then you come and you buy it. V'ato oike if you go and you buy it. So the Rebbe says a few beautiful questions on this Moshel that Rashi brings. Is nicht verstandig. Alle, der Badai von der Eitze Sheinu Genes Loi ist lechoira ganz einfacher und fordert nicht im Bio. Eitze Sheinu Genes Loi, ask every child, what could be somebody comes to ask you advice, and you give him the wrong advice because you want to take away the stuff. You hear that he's going to buy something, you tell him, no, it's not for you, and you go and you buy it. So everybody knows, a million examples could be. Why is Rashi taking, for what does Rashi give him the road? Bechlal adugme. Why is he giving in general adugme? Who needs it? Everybody knows what it means. Base. If you really want to give a dogma, you want to give an example of Eitze Sheinu Genes Loi, is there a poshitere and leichtere dogmois of the myth. There's much less things, less complicated and simple than this. Yeah, okay. Gimel is a continuation to this. Noch mehr. In Torah Koyanim, the mocker from the Rashi takes his source, but he says from Teures Koyanim. Werden Rob gebracht 3 Dugmoes auf Ethischen Gänzle. Teures Koyanim bringt 3 Dugmoes. Al toima lo ytzei b'ashkome shikpechu listim ytzei b'tzorayim shishtarev sheyakeu shoro v'shemesh. Somebody comes and asks you, I have to go out to do business. When should I go? So he tells them, go in the morning. And what is in his mind? His mind is that there is going to be listing, there's going to be what's called Ivy Robbers, I don't know what they call it. And he tells them, and somebody's going to ask him, why did you tell him to go like this? He's going to answer him that there is the idea in the morning, it's easier to go. So he could turn it around and mean that he meant good. Say it or he tells him go out in the afternoon because he wants that his sun, the heat should make him trouble. Or second thing, al toima lo mechoyer asot chovekach lechochamoyer, that equal of this is what Rashi brings, v'noit lo mimenu. And for them, before this, bringt na dugme b'shayches mit advar aver. He has these 2 examples, and then before that another thing. What does it tell him? Somebody comes and asks him, Basish ploini maile keune. He comes and asks him, this guy has a daughter, Rabbonim Meriel, but I'm a coin, could I marry her or not? So the Torah says, Al toima lo ksheiro ve'yeinu elav psulo. Don't tell me that she is kosher, because he machst li na avere. Und die alle Dugmois anal, bringt Rashi Davke, die letzte, und nicht eine von der erste und einfachere Dugmois. Rashi, the Rebbe says clear, that the previous one is a much simpler one. Ois dalet. In der Dugme anal Gufe, is nicht verstandig. Now we're going to go into the Moshel, but he gives them that it's not understood. Was Rashi bepshute shel mikro bringt euch dem Siyum, that oi kibol of noit lemenu. It's enough that he tells them, sell your field and buy a donkey, and
it's not good for him.
It's not good for him. What is the rest of the story that he came and he took it away? What is it adding on to this problem that he gave him an answer that it's not for him? It doesn't add anything. Parshas is the Eitze she'einu genes loy, but steht in them was for them sume bedovo loint mer zu ob masode ve'achamoel. You told them to sell it and get a chamoel. For him it's better to have a chamoel. V'kum ta'era isofe inyan chodesh legamre. It's something that it's not connected, it's not helping us, it's not giving us nothing. And it's going to be very interesting that by the end of the Sichos it's going to come out that this part is the main part of the whole idea, and this teaches us everything in this Rashi.
Giving a motive. Otherwise, why would a person do that? The person doesn't have an interest. Why would he want to make someone tell him the wrong thing? For what reason? Bound to hurt him. This explains why he wants to do it. Because he's going to benefit.
That's our thing. Okay, look in 17, the Rebbe is answering it. Okay. Now the Rebbe is going to try to give an answer on this question, why is he adding on this new addition, and the Rebbe is going to say we can't use it. We're going to come back to the question, why is Rashi changing the whole thing? Why is Rashi using Davke this dugme? Why is he adding on this last part that he's taking it away from him? The Rebbe said we could answer, although it's going to be bedoichat, but let's try to answer it. In Parshas Vayechi, Isocho Chamoyer Gorem, Roivet Bein HaMishpesoim, the Apostle Ben Yankev gave the brochas, so he said Isocho Chamoyer Gorem. What does it mean? So Rashi is giving us explanation what it means. Is Rashi Mefarish, Kachamoyer Chozok, Isocho is like a very strong donkey, Shematinim Oishem Maso Kovet, put on him a lot of weight, a lot of things to carry, and Alech Bayom Balaylo, he goes day and night, in the line bebayis, he doesn't sleep in a stable, the home, when he wants to rest, Roivet Bein HaTchumin. On the way, he lays down and he rests. Bein HaTchumin Betchumi HaYorish, Moilech Shom, Prakemati. He's delivering stuff from one city to the other. In the middle of the way, he's resting. From them first statement, what do we see here? The Rebbe brings a beautiful example. What do we see from the story of Isocho? Afilu Aben Chomish Mikron could also understand from this story what happens. B'negei Parnose, kemen von HaChamoyer oben mehr Toeles wie von HaSodem. There is a possibility that from a donkey you could have more than from a sode. How is it? Weil Rabbe sei bei Yom sei bei Leilo. He comes in a field, he can't walk at night. On Tirche Yisere Vat Balachamor. The Balachamor doesn't walk. He follows them, or he goes on a second donkey and he follows the donkey. Weil the Masois Kveido is, Trog the Chamor is not carrying anything. The kegen from the other side by Asode is the Arbeit gerogel nur bei Joim. You work only by day. Und ist verbunden mit Omol wie Gie mit Zadem Balasode. He has to work very hard to make Panos. He doesn't only follow the donkey. In alle Sugi Meloches, Harische, Zrie, Ktsire, planting and plowing and planting and then harvesting. B'meshech HaShona. So is beoid, even more. Was bli avoide veilu hapakmati mit Chamoyer bringt baldik revach. There's another gain in this. When you go with a Chamor, you come, either you get a deposit before you leave the house, or you get the whole money before you leave, or when you get there, you get right away the money. You do another delivery, you get again the money. But field it's not like this. Or the Alkoponim, or the Lachazman Kotzer. By a Sode, kommt es erst noch ein länger Meshachzman. He has to plow and wait till it grows, until he harvests, until it goes to the market and he sells it. It's a very long time. Noch der kommt das man Ktsire, und noch mehr, Lachat das man von Asif Asatvueh. Then he could make some money. So what do I learn from this story from Sichos? That sometimes a Chamoy could be better than a Sode. Kommt lefi ze ois, as the Eitze from B'choyer Sotcho v'kach lecho Chamoy is go b'chlolus be'oive an Eitze aguno. It's even better than, he gave him a very good Eitze that it's better than to have the field. Und der Pfarrer ist Rashi Messiah, v'ato oike v'olo v'noit lo v'menu. So if the story is that a Chamor is better than this, so what is wrong? What is wrong is, as you as before, that he came and he took it away from him. Also redt sich wegen der Joyetz is mit sein Eitze Eusen zu tun mit der Sode. Why did he tell him to take a Chamor? Not because a Chamor is better, because he wanted to take it away. Hey, so the Rebbe Lechoyer we have answer where Rashi saying it.
Der Rebbe probiert zu sagen, wenn sein Schäumer von Rashi,
it's just a dogma. It's a dogma. No. The Rebbe said something here that even Bechomish Mikro could see that the Socho Chamoyer Gorem and gives you all the mileage of a Chamoyer that is not sleeping and is going in his Ein Lini Babai, and he goes always and he takes a lot of masa. Bechomish Mikro himself knows the story that a Chamoyer is a very good thing, and then he's going to understand that it could be better than a Sod. I say, so the Rebbe said, it's not so simple. But das ist klar nicht glattig, and I could not use it, and I'm going to be left with the question, how come Rashi brings the end of the story that he took it away from him the field? Aleph, es ist Mugen Poshut, as Meidoch, you told me now how good a donkey is. I look from the other side and I show you that a Sode is much better. A Sode, a Yisrael Gabi Chamoy, Kemoi, the Rebbe gives examples, Leishayach Boze Mise. A donkey could die, a field could not die. בכלל, the Arbeit mit der Chamor ist verbunden mit Tiltule Derech. It's never wrong. Von Bala Chamoyer. Was muss ständig herumfahren, mit Mokem lemokem. So somebody, even the Parnos is not on the spot. It takes longer, but I'm home always. And I go out by day and I walk, and at night I go to sleep, and I have a regular life. מה שאין כמעט סוד is, על דרך רוגל, the סוד כפין sich בסמיכוס להירוי לבייסה, das war ein Mensch, der so viel. Gehoit, ובפרט, אז דו ist die Adgoshe, אינו oigenes loi. Es ist nicht zugepasst für ihm. Kann doch sein, als Ribu Efanim, als Farim is besser zu Masode. You tell me that it's Eino against Loi, and you said that Chamor is better. No, maybe for him the field much better. He's not so young, and it's not good for him to go around. The guy came and asked him if he should go with the Chamor or not. Al derer with the Friedike Dugme in Teras Kern im Tzei Bashkome sheikpechu listim. For stam Tzei Bashkome is a Neitzo Toigo. To go in the morning is much better than wherever you're going to come early, you're going to catch the business, if you go to a market, better to go early. Now in them far, wherever they live now, there is listim, is a sarov by the sign of Faran listim. The way that is Kedu Klosh Naturas Kanin. Eitzo she'eino egenes, loi. To him it's not good, because now in this city it's not good to go in the morning. But the Naturas Kanin is Messiah, Shematoy Marechotoy Vanenoisin loi. The Torah Skanim brings this example, but because this is for the Emshech of the Posuk, not in Mshuta Shel Mikro, because in Mshuta Shel Mikro, Rashi separates it in two extra Dibur HaMaschel. But in Torah Skanim, he uses it as one. And he says that maybe he could come and say, I gave my Eitzah Toigo. Live in the morning so you have a success in the business. So the Rebbe says, that's why it says, because the Rebbe knows what you meant, if you meant it Letoivo or not. Also jetzt kann go sagen, also hat gemeint, und Gita heißt es aber das gesagt. Beis, oi beiker, oi bis leint ke besser für den Balla Sode, so nach Chamoyer, wie Sode. If I say that for him is better a Chamoyer, the guy that came to ask you and told him to sell it, is was out as der Joid wird noch zunehmen, die Sode bei dem was hat es gekauft von dem Summe bedobo. Es ist fahren Summe bedobo nicht kein Mirschel und afel nicht kein etliche in ganz leuk. Noch hat der Befarim ist doch besser zu oben dem Chamoyer. If you gonna say that the Chamoyer is better, it's good for him. What do I care if he went and he took it? So taking the field doesn't add me anything in this story. Maybe we come back to the story that the question stays, how come that Rashi is bringing the end, and why is Rashi changing the whole idea of sumo? And the Rebbe is going to give now the answer in his word, very simple and geschmack. That is sein verstandig leut im Klal. Euch in der Pshat is do a Klal, as Pshat the Torah chazat iber adin, was men weishen from friert, there's a lot of times that the Torah repeats things. What happens then? What do we do if the Torah repeated a few times? Darf man sich mistartel sein zu gefinnen darin a Chidush din und nicht sagen, der Rebbe Chazar is blois, k'dei le'arbeis v'lavi mekaretze b'zeh. There is a concept in halacha that if the Torah says it a few times, so I say that when you over more than one love. The Rebbe says this is only when you have no choice. As long as you have a choice, you have to find a reason why the Torah said it. And we could say here, we're going to say it later, but let me put it in here so we'll understand it a little better. By Leshikal el-Cheresh, we learned already, Nosi b'am choloi soyer. What does it come to add on Leshikal el-Cheresh? If you curse on Nosi b'amcho or anybody else, right? If you curse on Nosi or anybody else, you waive of ein love. If you curse a Cheresh, you waive of two lavim. You waive of the loi soyer, a regular person, and he's a Cheresh, so it's double. So the Rebbe says we can't say it because we have to find why the Torah said it. If I have no choice, then I'm going to say that there's Marbin love in all of. This is what the Rebbe says here. When in the Earth of Rashi is mefarish, love or there is places that Rashi says that we do Ivaran Shnei Lavin. Kayetze b'zeh, he says, weil gefindt nicht dort b'derech hapshat a chidush din. If you can't find a chidush din, I must say that it's because la'arba sholov b'lav. When zet in Pirush Rashi in the Posik Gufe of Leshikal el-Cheresh, is Rashi mefarish k'nish kaloy. Menayin l'Rabbi Skolodom Talmud lo imar. Im kein lo moneh ma'cheresh. Es kommt mir mar b'zayin Leshikal el-Cheresh. Everybody. Why does it say Cheresh? Ma'cheresh alive, the same thing also does. V'lechoire, Rashi had gekent lernen bepashtus, as Chotsh is doder isur leisoir, what we learned before in Parshas Shmois, was is koilel kol odom, oich ha-Cheresh, steht aber bei Cheresh, b'miyuchet Leshikal, ketei zuzugeben bei Cheresh, alav yatir. Rashi could have learned like this, and I said that Rashi don't. Rashi says, why does it say, Rashi doesn't say that it's going to go to love. Rashi is always looking to find why the Torah is giving me more than one time a Isur. If I move on, as if you have any possibility, darf me mefarer sein, die Psukim in an Eufen, als man so nicht darf man ankommen zu sagen, als das ist bloß, k'dei la'arbeis b'lavi. Right? So we have to look. So Rashi is looking, what could I find there that the Torah is repeating this, you're not allowed to curse, what is the innovation, what's the chidush here, and not to say that if somebody curses a cheresh, is over of two love. But the Rebbe is here also the same thing. The reading from Likkutei is a repetition. Where is the repetition? So they say, kipshutoi. As men tor nicht legen kein Mirschel durch welchen a Diver soll genisig werden. In literally when I touch it, you're not allowed to make a obstacle to somebody who is blind. Weiß man schon von dem, was steht früher. We know it already. It comes out here that it's a repetition. If it's a repetition, I'll have to say that it's another love. Rashi doesn't want. Rashi wants to find a way that it's not a second love. And that a chidush here more than that. So, weiß man schon von dem, was steht früher in Teure, wo redt, wegen Kamo, Passierung der Nasurois, Bildere Zuez v'chulu. That's already said in the Torah. So just one more time. So we have the questions why Rashi is changing completely the story in the takeout Sume Bechlal. Then we have in the details in this, why is Rashi bringing Bechlal example? Everybody knows what it means. Somebody comes next to, should I go? And you don't like him so much, you tell him, yeah, go. You know that he's going to go and he's going to get hurt. So it's something very simple. And also if you bring it, why do you bring this, not the other one that the Torah Kohanim bring? Torah Kohanim has three, you bring Davke the last one. And also the next question is, why is he adding on by the end that he's going to take out the field, he's going to buy it from him? So the Rebbe says, we find already in Torah before, the Rebbe starts now the answer, that we have to find a way, what is the innovation when the Torah gives us a second time the same Avere. So the Rebbe says, we learned already before. So we must come to a conclusion, the Torah comes to tell us here something else. steht wir gibt ich boyer, ich boyer, und ich hasen im nafal schon mal boyer shalen. Das heißt, als ein Ton ist Ton azach, legen am Michsel, will doch der Bad Michsel. Na da Bad Summe, but anybody. Was wird goyer in seinem zweiten Hesik, you're not allowed to do it. Und Napalpi as dort redt nicht die Teure mit Pirusche wegen Isaveter. What the Teure talking there about? Teure doesn't say you're not allowed to do it. Says v'chiv tachish boyer, but you have to pay. No, wegen Tashlum in the Nezek. Ist doch Adrabe. Oib me wird nenash mit Aufbazollen for the Nezek, was mod goyrum wird, as for sure that you're not allowed to do it. Und noch mehr, der Michel dort ist gar nicht Sheloi. Rashi ist dort mefarish, it's not something is. Where did he do it? He did it Birshus Arabim. Und afal Pekein ist aber, dass kol mechuyev zu zahlen, war edik Punkt, wer es wollte gewinnen Sheloi. So how much more so is it when it's Sheloi? For sure. Then you go and you put a stumble under a blind person, for sure you're not allowed to do that. It's already said in the Torah, and this is already a second time. Ist doch sicher, das ist a double. Oh, so learn the Rebbe Rashi, so Rashi is puzzled. Rashi doesn't know why it's coming a second time. And Rashi doesn't want to say that it's coming to another Isser love, when you curse a cheresh over of two loving, because we have to find out always a way that the Torah is telling us something new. Learn the Rebbe Rashi comes with a new thing. As do come to a naya sug Isser. We have a new Isser that is not included in Kiv Tachish Boyer, and it's not a second Isser, a second love, and cursing a cheresh. Was wird nicht lernen, wir können es nicht ablernen von dem Dien von Kiv Tachish Boyer. Something that you could not learn, and when it's able to sit in Mirshel, give me a new idea, a new Isser. The Rebbe says, a naya sug Isser. Was misgoyrem dem zweiten Hezig, kedel kamon, Sobsig sein veilech, the Rebbe is going to give now the Yesod, in Sobsig sein, in continuation, the Rebbe is going to give and tell us what's the new sug Isser that we have now, a new concept of a Isser, if never the city Mirshel. Oy Zayah.
So, beide Sachen sind anders. Kiv Tachish Boyer ist eines. Am Mensch hat die Augen dabei. Kiv ne Ida, das Kiv ne Mirshel, das für Ula, was der Mensch getan, vermacht sein. Aber die Sache. Kommt zu einem Röschen sein, noch da. Das sieht man nicht, das ist frei. Aber das ist ein Mann.
I think the answer is Adrabe. If I say that Be'oines you did something, you have to pay. When you have to pay, that means that you nenash. Because it's a big avere, how much more so when you do it intentionally. So the Torah has to tell us. Torah doesn't have to tell us. Oh, that's what you want to say. It's a different thing. No?
I think again, but you can't stop viel machen, not intentionally. So I thought this don't make, but intentionally, this I didn't tell you. I'm letting you know I shouldn't do it.
But if yes, it would
didn't cover
if
it.
yes, it would have been better. First comes intentionally, then comes not intentionally. Because this is a chidush. Intentionally, for sure. How do I know about not intentionally? Okay.
He does have the rest.
Oy Zayah. Al pi ze is moving with Parshas Vavos, Rashi can bring in the first two that is going to answer, why, according to this Yesod, Rashi could not bring the other examples, and we're going to say why in this example is bringing yes, and why with the end that he's taking away the field from it. Al pi ze is moving with Parshas Vavos, Rashi can bring in the first two Dugmois from Teras Kohanim, of eight so sheinu, Rashi could not use it. Seba Ashkoma Shekpechu, list in Tzebe Zaram Shul Sheshtaret, this is the first example in the, this is, honestly, this is the second. But the first one is about Avera. This is the second one. Weil azelige Eitze sheinen aguno is werden al derech Hapshat nichlal in the minion from Kiv Tachish Boyer. If he tells him clearly, he should go out and listen, he should get him. Go out by noontime, and he wants him to get, like he doesn't like him, and he wants him to get burned from the sun. He don't have to tell me that. The minion from Kiv Tachish Boyer, durch sein Eitze Roh, hat Goyer get den zweiten Hezig. The listim comes and he could take away everything that he has. As der Gram is don't nicht bei Nicker with the Pole from Kiv Tachish Boyer. Maybe this could help you out a little bit. We see that it's not the same thing. Kiv Tachish Boyer, he went and he dug and he did something. Aber in dem ist klar, kein auf kein Mensch legab the Tzoi. The Tzoi is the same thing. The Tzoi is goyer than the zweiten Hezig. It's either you did a Pehule or not. So it's just in brackets. The Rebbe is saying, somebody is going to come in as, there he did something, and here he didn't do something. It's just fact. So the Rebbe said the same thing. Mitzad demselben Tam, so we have one example, the second one, why Rashi doesn't bring him. Now the Rebbe is going to go to the first one. Mit demselben Tam kein Rashi nicht lernen, als wenn ich nicht mehr meint, dass man Ton nicht macht, sondern der zweiten, zu Ton wäre. Ich kann sie nicht erst sehen, this guy is a daughter, could I marry her? I'm a coin, he says, yeah. So he's a machshel. Rashi could not use it. Why? Wie bald man Ton nicht gehören sein, mit zweiten Hezig, Gashmi, in Gufe, wenn Chosov, das gibt a Chishboyer, Alachas kama vekamo, als man Ton nicht gehören sein, a Hezig benafshe, durch Oiver sein, an Avere. For sure that you're not allowed to do, to go somebody Avere beruchnis. How do I know it? I was explaining it. When you Baruch in Parshas Bereshis, as the father was there, Nochosh at Machshel Gven Chave, Nochosh in tight he told Chave to eat from the tree, and she ate. Mit dem Chet Etzadas. So what did he do? He gave her not a Hezig beguf. He gave her a Hezig benefesh, a Hezig in Avere. He's aber Strop geworden mit a neune Schomu meoid. Oru rato mikol abeim goimer. The Torah tells us. Was davon versteht man dem Goydlo Isser, from this you could learn how big this Isser is, zu Machshel seiner Zweiten mit einer Avere. Und Rashi ist dort mefarish. Rashi on the story there says, Mikan sheim me'aprim b'schuso shel Meises Chulo. The Rebbe could have told, if the Rebbe could have had an argument with the Nochosh would have said, Rashi said it there. The Nochosh would have said, Divrei mi atem shevim, Divrei Talmud or Divrei Arab. I told you to eat. The Rebbe said not. Why did you eat? Don't even ask any questions. If he's a Meises, he gets cursed. So we see that by Ruchnis is even more than Begashmis. Therefore, so Rashi could not bring this to Dugmoes. Rashi must bring this Dugma that he brought about sell your field, buy a donkey, and then comes that he took it away from him. Therefore, bring Rashi Davke die letzte Dugma für Teres Koyanim. Altoim am-mechoyer sotcho bekach lecho ha-moyer, and he's dabei Messiah, and he's finishing up, v'ato oiki bolo v'noit lo imenu, weil Davke in der Dugma kommt zu a Chidush Din kedel kamo. The Rebbe said that we want to find that there's a Chidush Din in Likkutei v'Leisiti Mirshel more than Nosi Ba'am Cholo Yisrael, and I don't want to say that it's adding another law. So the Rebbe says, now we're going to come to it. First the Rebbe answered why he doesn't bring the other two and he brings this. Now we're going to go into the Etzem Inyan and understand what it is. Very Gishmak.
It could have been an Eitzah again. It could be a real Eitzah. It's not the Etzem, the Eitzah is not anything.
Right, it might be a good Eitzah. It's not like you're making him a Nezer.
That Goshe is here also. She ain't against Loi.
Right.
That's that Goshe.
As opposed to the other ones.
Yes. Some gives him, it tells him to do Avera, it tells him the other thing, that the less thing that the Torah Shkalim brings. Oischef. Mit zugeben dem Siyum, that the Rebbe is going to bring out, that this Siyum is Meshane the whole idea, and from this the Rebbe learns out what forced Rashi to bring Bechlal, change it, it's not a Sume, we learned already, why he's bringing by example Bechlal, and why he's finishing with this. Mit zugeben dem Siyum, vato oike vol avnoit lo imenu, is Rashi madgish as the Chesorgen, besteht nicht, in Geurem sein, als der Summe soll verbeiten, als Sodor Fachamoyer. Weil in dem ist nicht Muchach, als soll sein, a Hefset Kenal Seif Dalet. This is not that, if I say just that he told them to sell, it doesn't mean that to live neighbor, lo yishit in Mirshel, it's not a Mirshel. Nor in them was, the idea is that he's taking it away, this shows me the whole thing. Where do we see it? The Torah is al derech hapshat, mechadesh anayim din. As we said before, the Rebbe says that this, lo yishit in Mirshel is something new. Unbelievable, the Rebbe is chidush here. Don't let this nicht wegen an Isha zu verschaffen, dem Ivera Ezek. This is not what we're talking about. But the answer the Rebbe gives now in the whole Emshech of the Siche is a very refined, dakesdike idea, and it's a ruchnisdike idea, mamish, brings out the idea of Avas Yisrael, how to do a toive a person. Amazing. Don't let sich nicht wegen an Isha zu verschaffen, dem Ivera Ezek. The Torah doesn't come to tell me bechlal of doing a Ezek to him. No, the Torah asks the euch zu geben im Blois, an Eitze she'enoi oigenes loi. And the Rebbe is going to teach oigenes loi completely different, as we said before, that oigenes loi, it doesn't fit for them. In completely different pirush. Shas when geht dem Zweit an Eitze, darf man in Sinnen oben, no as the Eitze soll sein, oigenes loi. Have in mind only to help him. Und nicht trachten dabei wegen der eigenen Tereles, was kennt davon mal wer sein. The idea is, when somebody comes to ask you something, every mind, forget about yourself. You have nothing to do here. And only what you're doing is for him. As the Rebbe is going to, this is the outline. The Rebbe is going to give now the details how we understand it. Und das wird auch gebracht in der Dugma an, der Rashi muss bringen, this Dugma. Then you saw this, when you go do something for somebody, it have to be oigenes loi. It should be for him good. Und das wird auch, and you're nothing there. It means you're not looking for gaining, not covered, not have to take away the field from him. Anything that there is something that you could gain from it, pirsomet, or you did something good, and not can give you on your back and say, you did something good. Nothing, all this is nothing. Only this friend is in your mind. Und das wird heute gebracht in die Dugma Anal. Al toima mechoyer sot chodekach locho chamoy, vat oikem lebnet lemen. Afil adam ekablo eitze, vedapun nishtom ken shodn klar. He's not going to have anything. He's going to have a donkey, and he's going to have parnose, everything's going to be fine. He's aber eino oigenes loy. Nit kein Zeurech for him. He didn't do it for him. Und das teure Gasat. Unbelievable. I mean, it's so unbelievable. Weil geben die Kanetze, a zweiten darf man durch euch trachten, wegen in jedem Smatzev und gewehr sein, was ist a Zeurech for jenem oigenes loy. Don't think about you. It's nothing to do not with you going to buy it. In general, think only about him. Und nicht euch wissen, das für eigene Verdiensten, wer hat euch gewollt, wenn euch lehnen. Don't think about you, what you could gain. Only is in your mind to help him. Chotsche kann sich trachten, als der Summe bedobert doch lechosche klar, the donkey is good for him. And I'm going to buy the field, it's not going to be Isaac for him. It's was artes as der Joitz wird sein Ende. That's a good question. What do you care if I give him a good Eitze, and I'm taking the field because he's not going to be a chos or nothing. So the Rebbe, that's what Rashi is coming, transforming the translation of Rashi's words. Und das auch Rashi will ich lieber lesit in Michshoil, libne asume bedobo lesit in Eitzo, she'eino egenes loy. What does it mean? Michshoil do is koile lafile ben vadem sume bedobo is nicht herausgekommen kein Nefset klar. Nothing. He didn't have. What do you call it? Michshel. It's not a michshel. He gained. He got a donkey instead of the field. The michshel, the durchfall, this stumbling is blows in oivim the sinas o eitze. As you gave him the eitze, what kind of eitze was it? It was with a stumble. And the truth of the matter is, who stumbled? The guy that gave the eitze, he stumbled because he had him in himself in mind. Eitzo she'eino egenes loy. The sume meant. This is the problem. The Summe meant, as the Yoitz get an Eitzo egenes loy, he told him, yes, sell the field and go buy a donkey, it's going to be everything fine. And the Yoitz is Oikebolov. Oikebolov doesn't mean he goes and he takes away the field. No, naht him up and get him an Eitzo lefit darko ivano osoi. Completely different thing and unbelievable. Oistes. Al pize, et me verstehen, ja.
Was ist denn noch mehr Ide? Und sagen, a fast Mensch.
Because each and every one that you're doing it to is a favor in this situation. He thinks that you're doing him a favor, and it's just a ruchnis dikerin. It's a attack dikerin in Abbas Yisrael. Put yourself away in us. You're not here. You're doing it only for him. We're not finished.
He never even chaps it.
It's never going to chap. Very good. So who is Michshoil? Who has stumbled? The Valetza stumbled. He did a mistake. It's amazing. I mean, it's a unbelievable daketik story what Rebbe brings out how to do it. It was buying time when I got married. There was buying furniture. I don't know. Maybe today we're still doing it. So there was in the there was in the east side. There was a place that they sold furniture very very cheap, but he didn't have everything. So you go to Borough Park or you go to Manhattan to a Goyish place and you look around and then you copy the number, the thing that you like. You bring it to the east side to this guy, and he gets it to you for half the price or 2/3 of the price. The Rabbonim said that you're not allowed to do that. And in general, you're not allowed to go into a store and just look and say, you have no intention of buying. You make him feel that that you're coming to buy and he's happy in this. You're not allowed to do that. Same thing is also when you come into somebody and you want to buy salt or flour that they used to sell from the big. From the set, you're going to come and he's going to tell you, I opened up this set about an hour ago. It's mamish fresh. I opened it up 2 weeks ago. You're not allowed to do this also because he's going to die from the koine. I'm just mentioning it that there is an Indian, such an Indian begashmi that you could see that you're doing things that it's not does. Okay, oysters.
First topic may change to the first do college instrument. You have to the showroom.
לא,
לכתחילה.
צריך להיכנס לאלקטרוניק סטור יהודי, לקחת, להסתכל את כל הזה, and take this number, אתה לא מתכנן לקנות, זה אפילו The Shaila is we already talked about.
I said, for sure. לכוי רסור, yeah?
Yeah, but הוא אומר, אם שייך שתקנה.
שייך שתקנה. שמה, by the phone, לכתחילה they went not to buy because they know that it's two-thirds cheaper there. Say it again?
זה אומר, אתה תגיד, אתה הולך לחנות, להסתכל מה האפשרות הכי טובה. אונליין תהיה טוב וואו.
That's the answer. The answer is a very good one, yes. Yeah. I'm going to say I'm not allowed to go on Amazon, I'm going to buy some camera, and then I'm going to buy some... לכתחילה they made it that you should look, and say it again? I don't know if you're allowed to do it or not, or either. I don't know. What? Toes goy is mutter, but not a mitzvah. Okay, ois test. Al pi ze vet menach verstehen, der Richus alosh von Rashi bepirushoi, aber Yereshem elekecho. Rashi gives all land. The Torah Kohanim doesn't use. What we learn till now, the Chidush is in Rashi, not in Torah Kohanim. Torah Kohanim gives it very short, the idea of Yereshem elekecho. Rashi gives a all land explanation. Why? If it's a dover hazeh, eino mosul lebriois, Later, in Daite Shel Toivo, or Lero, Vyochale Shomet, somebody's going to come and ask him, why did you tell him to sell it? He's going to tell him, a donkey is much better. He could answer it. That's why it says, V'yireshem elekecho. He could say, L'toivo niskavanti. If you're of them about V'yireshem elekecho, what is it? A makir machshav yisecho, he knows the inside what you think. Vashenkin in Torah Kohanim, where Zog Bekitzur, שבתוימר עץ הטויבה נינוי של לוי, והרי הדובר מוסו ללב, שנאמר ברסם לקחת השם. That's it. שהדובר מוסו ללב, and that's why וירסם לקח. So the Rebbe is explaining why. In Torah Kohanim is that דיוק, שבתוימר עץ הטויבה נינוי של לוי, you're going to say, I gave my עץ הטויבה. That says, לפויל is it given an עץ רו. No, הבוסו ודם, כן אם דבר נשבע שולדיגן, יויסר זה יויץ, כן זה פרנטפרן, אז עוד גמנט, אז דוס is a good עץ, דבר, זה הדובר מוסו ללב. Torah doesn't talk about what the Rebbe is innovating in Rashi. He's talking about when somebody is giving a Eitzero. If you give him a Eitzero, nobody's going to know. Only the Rebbe knows. Mashenken aber Rashi, with Rashi aber is nicht der Chiluk zu die Eitze. The Poel given an Eitze Tov or not. By Rashi this doesn't matter. This is not the point if it's a Eitzero or Eitze Tov. No, the ganze Sach is blois, aniyem b'shaychus, zu daito yun kavon asodo. Sierot b'shas, nothing to do if you gave him a bet. What did you think when you went to tell him what to do? Sie hat beschaffen geben der Eitze getracht wegen dem zweiten oder nicht. Der Rebbe says in footnote 42, ולושן רש"י, אם דייתו שזה לרו, אין הכוונה בזה עץ רו בפויה. לא זמן רו בפויה. כי אם שכוונו זה אינו לטובת השני, ומילא הרי זה עץ רו, מחמן סויב נסין עשית. The same thing as I said before. Und das kann man nicht wissen, viele Norden mit der Jöitze Top Giko mit Israel, weil es kann sein, dass it's a very good point. Listen to this point. Even if you bought the field, could you know that he did it? He told them to sell it because he wanted to buy it? No. Maybe he told them to sell it because he thought it's good for him. Later on he saw, you know what, I have some money in the bank, I'm going to buy this field. If he's selling it already, let me get it. It's not HFO. He didn't take it away from him. That's what I said. Und das kann man nicht wissen, viele im Norden mit der Joetz, hat auch gekauft, even für die Bode. Weil es kann sein, dass nicht, dass es gewinnt sein Kabode mit Chilo. He didn't tell him to go buy a donkey because he wants to take away his field. Noch der noch hat sich gemacht a Gelegenheit. He won the lottery, he got a Yerusha, and he says, oops, I could buy this field. Also soll keinen aufkaufen, die Sode, von dem Lekech, Mino Iber. Auf dem sagt der Postuk, V'yereshem elekecho, amake machshavesecho. Make machshavesecho, even if you didn't want to buy it lechatchil, but you add something to gain here. That's the problem. Und weißt, was der Rodam tragt beim Geben der Eitze? Oishut. Und dort, wenn er Jeroen ist, floh, auf der Minje von Abbas Yisrael. Hier kam der Jeroen. Oiviv la'id is mechuyev sich hereinlegen in der Teuve von der zweiten. Unbelievable. How much Aid has to have? Put himself in to do a favor to another Jew. Es ist nicht genug, was du für sich in einer Neuen Mal das Zulas oder Poira Toelis und deiner Noge. It's not enough. Not enough that you're giving him a good idea. You're helping him out with something. Noch in dem ist echt eine Geha. Dein Derech Kavonem Matore. Bishas du tust dem zweiten Teuve, darfst du im Ganzen sein, listen to the words. Ois gitom von sich. When you do something a favor, you're not here. You're doing it just for him. Und trachten durch Ois, was der Info says, I didn't think about it, just came. Mitzvah lefarsen, welche Mitzvah? Ha? Nu?
gibt nicht kein Mitzvah. Gibt es doch.
Aha, da ist der Eitze. Da ist der Geht und ein Teufe.
Kommt der Bett nach Eitze. oh, ich habe nicht immer gut nature, jener, just tut es.
Da geht es nicht größer, ist not there. Okay. Und als herum werden sich in dem nicht araimischen there's a gaining also that you could gain from it. If this is going to be your outlook, if this is going to be your way of doing a favor Eid, of helping Eid, now we're talking not only about Eid, when you're going to do it, it's going to save you that you're never going to have on, what's it called of English? You're not going to personal gain on it. You're not going to make a mistake and when you go out with somebody, you're going to think, maybe I could gain something from it. It's going to save you also from that. For example, there's a kliyum von Ahavas Yisroel in a neuvim von V'ahavto l'reyacho kamoicho, as it says in our Parsha, just man feels as the reyacho is kamoicho bepashtus. Kamoicho mamish. What does it mean? Kamoicho? Kamoicho mamish, not kofadimye. Reyacho is nicht kein Zulas. Unbelievable. Reyacho is not a Zulas. It's not a separate entity. Nor is ein Zach mit dir. What is it? Achdus Yisroel. Demo trachte wegen Reyacho in a neuvim, was vernimmt ihm im Ganzen. The same as he's going to do something for himself. He's not going to brag by anybody. I did myself a favor, I did this, and I did this. Same thing is going to be by somebody else. He's going to be in Ganzen Kamoicho Mamish.
Ja.
Punkt.